teacher, author of the YA series The Elementals and the YA trilogy The Lucia Chronicles. This is a middle grades kind of YA book review for the 13th sign. This is by Kristin Tubb, and it's all about a girl named Jalen who is she's not really into astrology, she doesn't believe in it, but her grandmother, her Nina, was really into astrology. And so she stumbles upon this book, and when she delves into this book, she unlocks the 13th zodiac sign, which I believe is pronounced Ophiuchus. And what ends up happening is that there are keepers of the zodiac, and each zodiac sign kind of comes to life in order to prevent Ophiuchus from becoming a permanent fixture in society. And why they don't want that is because Ophiuchus is the sign of healing, and it can kind of reverse death or heal so that you don't die. It's kind of hard to tell whether it makes everyone immortal. I got the impression that it doesn't make you immortal, but that it can reverse the effects of death, so I'm not sure if that's immortality or not. But either way, while I was reading this book, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Percy Jackson, which I read a very long time ago, because of the battles with each of the astrological signs. Some of the parts of the book were kind of annoying a little bit because of the shift with the new zodiac sign, the 13th sign. Everyone's zodiac sign changes, and so their personality changes. And for Jalen, that's a good thing, but you know, she picks up some habits like cracking her knuckles, and like every other page she's cracking her knuckles. Like, okay, we get it, she has a new habit. So that was kind of weird. And the book is written really simplistically. Don't get me wrong, any similarities with the battles that it has with Percy Jackson, it's not as well written as Percy Jackson. The protagonist is 13, but I would put this in middle grades because of the writing style, or if you had a reluctant YA reader, then this book might appeal to them. Really, it's Jalen on a mission to find out, like, well, do our zodiac signs define who we are? What role did my grandmother have in this? What role did her father who disappeared have in this? You know, what about the changes? For example, her best friend's brother becomes much more likable after the zodiac shift, and then she has to restore things to their rightful way, so he's going to go back to the other way, and you know, little things like that. So it's a lot about identity and finding out who you are. I like to choose, as I mentioned before, I like to base my ratings on books based on the target audience for that book. So I gave this book like 3.5 stars. It was a really easy read. I read it in a day. It's about 220 pages or so. I like the idea for it. I think the idea could have been way cooler if it was targeted for an older YA audience, because I think the battles would have just been like a little bit more epic, and I think that the drama would have helped with the pacing of the novel. But it's a likable book. Like I said, if you have a young reader who's a fan of Percy Jackson, they may enjoy this book. Or if you have a reluctant reader, this may be a book that they could read that might get them interested in something like the Percy Jackson series. So it was likable. It wasn't my favorite book that I've ever read, but I like the idea. And like I said, I think if it was for a YA audience, the idea could have been like really, really cool and kind of epic. So considering it was for a middle grade audience, and the fact that at that age, you know, 12, 13, you're trying to figure out who you are and where you fit in the scheme of things, I think it was appropriate. So this is the 13th sign. In the meanwhile, happy reading and happy writing.